Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Pop-Eyed Goose. Thanks for joining me for today's video. We're purchasing the new car that came out today, which is a sports car. It is the Pfister Comet SR. You can buy it for, you see there, I think it's either, about $1.4 million. You'll notice with this car, straight off the bat, it has a pretty high top speed as far as the statistics there, and it also has pretty good acceleration and pretty good traction. The braking is kind of, I guess that's what you get. So we're going to go ahead and purchase this. What I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to take it for a little test drive before we customize it. I'm going to customize it. Then I'm going to go ahead and take it for a test drive again. I'm going to give you my thoughts on the car. And then we're going to go ahead and also do a little speed test with the Pariah, which is, the fastest sports car. And then also testing it against the fastest supercar, which is the Pfister 811. So we went ahead and ordered that to our garage. I think we're going to go ahead and take it out now for a little test drive. Okay, it looks very familiar to the first Comet that came out that you could customize at Benny's. It almost looks exactly like that model before it got customized. So this car does have some pretty good pickup, so the acceleration's pretty good. The top speed, I guess we'll have to see once I get it on a little bit of a straightaway. The braking, as I said, it's kind of, I guess, average compared to most of the cars that come out as far as, non-sports cars, non-supercars. And the traction on the car is actually pretty good. The back end sometimes can get a little fishy with some of these cars, but this one's actually pretty decent. You see, I just go ahead and make a pit stop real quick. I think I'm going to pick up a friend or something. I don't remember what we did, but we're going ahead and test it out here. Go ahead and take it to Los Santos Customs in Style. So off the bat, I kind of like the car. I think it might be worth the 1.4 million, but then again, I guess that really all depends on yourself and what kind of cash you got and what you're going to use this car for, or if you're just a car collector. So we're going to go ahead and take it in here. Once I take it in, I'm going to go ahead and do some shout outs. You'll go ahead and see the different types of things that you can customize on the car, just to get a rough idea of what you would like to do if you were going to go ahead and purchase this car. So first shout out I want to go ahead and give to some of the new subscribers on my channel. We have Mazel Trenny, we have George Alfonso, we have Rachel and Rebecca. Also another one I always want to give a shout out to, RomSense. She directs a lot of people from her page over to my page, so we kind of work with each other. So big shout out to RomSense. Go ahead and check out her channel. She's got a lot of great content on there, and you won't be dissatisfied. So also another shout out to the Gamer Squad, Chesterfield Joe, and of course always we have Stannis MLSCC. Some of the other regular guys, we have Death Gun, we have Gummy Lad, Deadly Shep, that's Clayton, Finger to Trigger, I'm Back to Go, Microwave Fish, Symbaticus. So I'm sorry, I'm getting off track here. We have Ivan Barrientos, and let's see. Also want to give a shout out to Papa Grande 91 PSN. Go check out his channel. He's got some great Fortnite clips. And I think let's go ahead with Tico Postiga. I think I might have said Death Gun Live, and I think we're going to go ahead and end it right there. So appreciate all you guys for the support. We'll go ahead and get right back into the video here. I think we're almost done customizing this. You can see there's a lot of different customizations for the bumpers, the skirts, the fenders, the hood, the roof. So you can kind of customize this the way you want. After this, you'll see the scheme that I went with. I've been kind of on my crew scheme since I changed my crew color. Now it's kind of like a neon green, kind of mint green color. I'd say it's more of a neon green. You'll see in one of the clips coming up a little later. This car actually at nighttime, it depends on the light. This thing actually glows, so it's actually pretty cool. As I said, we're going to go ahead and test this out on the speed tracks to see what this rates as. So here's my choice. I got my crew kind of neon green, lime green with just basic black here, just to go ahead and I guess keep with that crew theme for the past week or two. So okay, now we just upgraded it. I can notice that there's a little bit of a difference here in the acceleration. Obviously I'm driving it a little slower just to kind of get a look at the car and also get a feel for it. Once I start to actually tear it up, and you'll notice on the racetrack that this thing is actually pretty quick. It is not the fastest sports car, although I will say this, I do race these cars on two different tracks, and there may be a little bit of a controversy on the fastest car in the game. Normally it's been the Pariah has been the fastest sports car, and the Pfister 811 has been the fastest supercar, but we'll go ahead and get into that a little bit more in about a minute or so. So I think this car has pretty good handling. I think the traction is great. The braking, okay, whether you upgrade the car or not, braking still pretty much stays the same. the acceleration goes up, and the top speed is pretty much the same as well. So I think this car is a pretty nice car for $1.4 million. If you're thinking about going ahead and getting it for racing and you can afford the Prior, you know, I would suggest going with the Prior, just because you're probably going to win more races. So if you're just a car collector and you like the car, I think it's actually pretty cool. It's one of the many Pfister Comets that have come out. I don't know why GTA's so you know, bent on these Pfisters. There's so many of these Pfister Comets, different versions of them, but they're all pretty cool cars. I'm not going to knock them. I'm just kind of crazy how there's so many damn Comets in the game. But I guess Pfister's taken over lately. I think out of the past like 5 or 6 cars that have been released, there's been like 3 Pfisters. So I don't know what's going on, but yeah, here we go. I'm going to go ahead and test it out on this first track. I think it's like a half-mile track or a little less than that. You'll see the color scheme I'm talking about right there. That thing kind of glows in the nighttime, depending on the lights. So both of these are my custom tracks. This one is a shorter track. So we're going to go test out the Comet here twice. And then we're going to go ahead and race the Prior, and then also the Pfister 811, which is a supercar, just to go ahead and see. So with most sports cars, you'll notice the back end is a little fishy, especially when I race. I always hold up left on the left joystick, and by doing that, it kind of causes the car to soar back and forth a little bit. But this one's pretty decent as far as the control. Like I said, the acceleration is good as well. You can hear that engine revving the whole entire time. So we go ahead and end this race. As I said, it's just a quick little, you know, quarter mile or half mile race. So that was 21.122. We're going to go ahead and race this same Comet again, and then I'll race the Prior, which is the fastest sports car, and then we'll go ahead and just throw in the Pfister 811 just to kind of compare the Prior and the 811 and also this car to the 811 to see what kind of speed it has. So we'll go ahead here. Here's the second attempt, and we'll go ahead and see if we can beat, I think it was 21.122. So again, I mean, a little fishy in the back end. You expect that from a sports car, but not as much as the other ones. So we go ahead and finish. That's race number 2 for this one. So we'll see what we got for a time. So basically 21.122 the first time, 21.189 the second time, which is pretty reasonable. I mean, not reasonable, pretty respectable on this track, even for sports cars or supercars. So we're going to go ahead and race the Prior now, which should be the fastest car in the game. You know, primarily that's what people think, although we'll see based on this test and the next track. There's a little bit of discrepancy here on you know, the fastest car over a length amount of time. So here we go, same exact track. We have to beat 21.122, which is the fastest time that the Comet came in at. Again, we're racing the Prior now. So we'll go ahead and see what we got for a time here for the Prior as we crash into the tree. So we have 19.954 versus 21.122. So that's roughly, you know, 1 second, 1.4 seconds faster over this short little track here. So now we're going to go ahead and take the fastest sports supercar in the game. I'm sorry, the Pfister 811. We'll go ahead and see how it does on this track versus the Prior as the fastest car in the game. Also, we'll test it out to see how fast the Comet is versus, you know, the fastest supercar. So we have 21.122 for the Comet. We had 19.7 or 19.8, I just forgot there, for the Prior. We'll see what we get here for the Pfister 811. So the Pfister comes in kind of right in between at 20.521. So it's about 7.7 seconds slower than the Prior on this course and 0.7 seconds faster than the Comet. So now we switch it up. This is a mile track. I think it's a 1.03 mile track, but basically just a mile track. So we're back here in the Comet. We'll go ahead and see. I end up losing control a little bit in the beginning. Doesn't really affect the speed that much as far as the overall speed toward the end of the race. But as I said, these sports cars do tend to be a little loose in the back end, especially when you're holding up the left analog stick, which I recommend anytime you're racing. You'll notice that the gears rev a little faster and they go a little bit longer. So here we go with the first attempt on this track. So we got the Comet coming in, and it should be a pretty good time. It doesn't seem to be as fast as the other cars, I can tell you that right off the bat just from, you know, actually racing it. So we have 35.9 And again, we switched up to a different track, so this is a 1 mile track. So now we got the Pariah, 35.9 for the Comet. So we'll go ahead and see what we get for the Pariah here, and then we'll finish off the clip racing with the Pfister 811, and that's where the little controversy comes in. The Pariah was the fastest car in the first, let's say about, I think that was a 0.6 mile course that we raced previously. So now we bumped it up to a 1 mile course, and we'll notice that there's a difference here. So the Pariah is the fastest car on a shorter course. I would say probably in the first 20 to 25 seconds. And then here we go, we extend it to 1 mile. And let's go ahead and see what we get for a result on this one. It actually kind of surprised me because I've done a lot of racing, a lot of testing with these cars on my channel. So we have 32.365, so it's roughly about 3 seconds faster than the Comet on that 1 mile course. So that's a kind of a huge gap right there. So if you can afford, you know, the Pariah, I would definitely go ahead and get the Pariah. So here's the last race of the day. We have the Pfister 811. We're trying to see, you know, what kind of speed we come up. Is it closer to the Comet, or does it possibly challenge the Pariah on this course? So let's go ahead and check out these results, and this is going to actually kind of surprise me here, because you could say that the Pfister 811 is still the fastest car in the game. You could say that the Pariah is the fastest car on a shorter track, maybe in the first 20 to 30 seconds possibly, or the first 20 to 25 seconds. But you hear this Pfister 811, this engine is revving the whole entire time, and the gears are going. I mean, this car is sick. So here we go, surprised the hell out of me. We got 29.062, and we had the Pariah come in at 32, and we had the Comet come in at 35. So the Pfister 811 is the fastest car over the longer straightaway, and then we have the Pariah, which is the fastest car on the shorter track. So here's my little thumbnail for the video. I hope you liked it. I would recommend buying it, not to win races with, but if you just want to go ahead and collect cars. Thanks for joining. I'll see you next time.